Hi there, good morning. How is everything? So, as promised, I would be doing a video explanation for our reading exercises on lesson 3 that I promised from the last time. So, here's the video, and I'm going to start with lesson 2. Sorry, I'm going to start with exercise 2 because I think we did exercise 1 on class. And in the video, I will be doing the following things. The first thing is that we would be going through the questions. I'm going to help you to underline the keywords, determine the keywords, and then we'll try to understand the question. That means we'll try to predict the meaning of the question, and we'll try to find the synonyms of the words that appear in the question as well as in the reading. So then you can refer to the reading to see which words or expressions means the same as the keyword they mentioned in the question. Alright, so we are not going to do exercise 1, we are going to do exercise 2. Exercise 2, alright, I'm going to enlarge it so it's easier for you guys to see. Alright, let's hope it's big enough. Yes, it is. Okay, so here are the two questions for exercise 2. First question, question number 3. A politician in the 1980s incorrectly blamed plants for air pollution. Okay, so here, if we read this question, we'll try to underline the keywords. First one is politician, 1980s. That will be keyword for you to look for in the passage. Incorrectly, plants, air pollution. So we'll try to see the synonyms of these words. Politician, okay, so when we say politician, we often refer, I'm going to make it smaller. Just wait with me a second. I'll try to adjust the size to make it smaller so that it could fit the frame while you still can see. Alright, let's start. When we talk about politicians, we often mention anybody in the government. Okay, so it could be a president. I think we all know what president is. We often mention about the prime minister. Okay, and then I think that we need to separate them. All right, the prime minister, and we call all of them government officials. Okay. So president, prime minister, government officials, authority. They all mean, the people who are working for the government or working in the government. Alright, in 1980s, sometimes they used 1980s, but sometimes they would use the end of the 20th century, for example. We don't know, so we're just trying to guess here. Could be the same as end of 20th century. Maybe. Incorrectly. I think that they are not going to use the word incorrectly in the text, so we'll try to find the synonyms, try to predict the synonym. I think it should be wrong, wrongly, falsely. Yeah, those would be direct synonyms of incorrectly. Blame plants for air pollution. Maybe they do not use the word plants, maybe they use trees. Okay, so we did that. We already tried to explain all the synonyms, and we understand the question. Now we are going to the text, and try to find the information. We now know that trees and other vegetation play an invaluable role in reducing air pollution in cities. Right, no information here. Not so long ago, in the early 1980s. All right, so we find a word here. Maybe the information is around here, from here downward. Chemists discovered that trees produce emission. All right, nothing. This prompted then US President Ronald Reagan to falsely declare, I found the person. So president is a politician. Falsely, that's incorrectly. Declare, that's to announce or to say. Trees cause more pollution than automobiles do. Okay. So in the question it says a politician, so that's president. In the 1980s, information is here. Incorrectly, falsely, blame. Alright, falsely declare, it just means blame. Trees, that's plants. Pollution, that's pollution. Alright, so that's about 90% the same. I would decide that as true. Alright, let's go for the second question, which is question number 4. Delete this, so we have space. Alright, so we have plants contribute to photochemical smoke as much as automobiles do. Okay, so here they're comparing keywords plants, maybe we'll still see the word trees. Photochemical, that's a word that we cannot replace and they cannot replace. That will be the keyword. We are going to look for that word. As much as automobiles do, so we have to see if they compare photochemical and automobiles. And if they do compare, then is photochemical smoke causing as much as automobile, or are they causing more pollution than or less pollution than automobiles? So that's 3 ways we can see. If they mention A and they mention B, but there is no comparison, will lead that to not given. If they mention A and B, they compare, but they compare wrongly. That means, for example, plants contribute to photochemical smoke more than automobiles do. So the answer then is false. Okay? So there are 3 ways for it first to look at this. Now let's go and find the information. This, of course, caused people to speculate that trees were harmful, despite the fact that the words emission and pollution are not synonymous, and that the president's remark was not accurate. Okay. While it is true that trees and plants, like all living things, emit chemical substances as byproducts of their metabolisms, these emissions are not a threat, but instead include the oxygen we breathe and the various chemical compounds that give flowers and shrubs their fresh, fragrant scents. It is only in the presence of significant amounts of man-made pollution like that caused by the emission of automobiles. Okay, so they mentioned automobiles here. And that plants and trees release volatile organic hydrocarbons. But when they do, they become participants in the formation of such ground-level ozone pollution as photochemical smoke. Okay, so here I find B, and here I find A. They say here that caused by the emission of automobiles, and here they say they become participants in the formation of the A, photochemical smoke, but there's no comparison. They just mention automobile, they mention photochemical smoke. Here we have the word as, but the word as here goes with such, so that's one phrase. It's not the same as much as, so that's different. We'll regard this as not given, because they mention A, they mention B, but there's no comparison. Alright, now there are a few words for us to look at, a few new words for us to look at in this paragraph. Alright, let me delete them first, and then we'll try to highlight some of the new words for you to learn. The first word to learn is invaluable. Vô giá, that means it's very high value. Okay, emission, that's a noun. The verb is emit. Thải ra, khí thải. Okay, declare, that's the same as announce, tuyên bố. That's a verb. And then we have this word is read automobile, not automobile. We have to say automobile. It means car, a car that people drive. Speculate is the same as doubt. Yeah, that's also a verb. Harmful. Harmful is an adjective. So harm is the verb and a noun. Harmful is an adjective. Có hại. Động từ là gây hại. Despite the fact that the words emissions and pollution are not synonymous. Synonymous là tính từ của từ synonym, từ đồng nghĩa. Accurate. Alright, so there are a few words that means accurate. So we have true, exact, accurate, right. All of them means đúng, chính xác. Okay, so accurate is an advanced word. True, right, exact, they are regular words, general words. That means they are not uncommon, they are not advanced. Alright, like all living thing, the chemical substance. Okay, we have the word chemical substance, chất hóa học. Byproducts, sản phẩm. Metabolism, quá trình trao đổi chất. These emissions are not a threat. Rất nhiều người đọc là threat nhưng không phải, đọc là threat, mối đe dọa. But instead include the oxygen we breathe and various chemical compounds. Hợp chất hóa học. Give flowers and shrubs, cây bụi. Bằng với từ bush, B-U-S-H. Okay, they're fresh and fragrant scents. Fragrant là mùi thơm, scent, mùi, bằng với từ smell. Scent is the same as smell. Fragrant is good smell. Mùi thơm là good smell hoặc là sweet smell. Scent là smell. Okay. Man-made, the same as artificial. Nhân tạo. Participants. Participants, đây là nhân tố góp phần vào làm gì đó, góp phần vào cái gì đó. Participant. Participate is a verb. Participation is a noun. Participant is a person or a factor. Formation, đây là danh từ của từ form, tạo nên, tạo thành. Formation là sự tạo nên, tạo thành. Okay, so that's everything we need to know. What you have to do is that you need to write down the vocabulary, learn them, and then you will see that in the future you will see all of these words very often, and they are very useful. Let's move on. We are going to do exercise 3. So this is the 3 questions for exercise 3. Question 5, industrialization created a need. So industrialization, need for a writing method, faster handwriting. Okay. Industrialization. I think that's a word that they cannot replace with any other word. Need. Okay, so we have need, and the synonym of need would be demand. Nhu cầu. Okay. The writing method. Writing method là phương pháp viết hay là cách viết. That was faster than handwriting. So handwriting is irreplaceable. Không thể thay thế được. Đây là từ duy nhất trong tiếng Anh. Okay, so here when I'm going into the reading, the text, I see industrialization at the beginning of the text. So I would guess that the information is somewhere here. Let's continue reading. Industrialization and corporate growth in the late 19th century created an environment in which business correspondence increased monumentally, calling for a way to transcribe message more quickly and legibly than handwritten script. Okay, so here I'm finding some synonyms. Handwritten script, that's the same as handwriting. More quickly, that's faster. Transcribe message, that's the same as writing method. Calling for a way, that means need. Okay, so industrialization created. So I think that those are all of the synonyms from the question and the text. And I see that 90% of the meaning of the question and also in the text is equivalent. I'm going to show you the word equivalent. Equivalent means tương đương. So I see that the meaning in the question and the meaning saying in the text are equivalent. So I would come to decide that question number 5 is true. Let's go for question number 6. The type bars on early typewriters had to be replaced often. Keywords: type bars, of course. Early typewriters, replace, and often. Okay, so we'll try to see if the type bars had to replace or repair, or if they are replaced, are they replaced often or sometimes or always? So we'll try to find small details like that. Maybe they do not use the word early, but they would say ancient or old or in the past or the first, the second. Like the first typewriter is the same as early typewriter or ancient typewriter. Sorry. Alright, let's go and find the word type bar. The first device capable of fulfilling this need was the Scholars and Glidden typewriter. However, before it would become a commercial success, certain issues needed to be remedied. For instance, the type bars, alright, here is the keyword. In the earliest typewriters moved very sluggishly, and the keys and other components tended to jam often. Okay, jam often. To fix this problem, Scholars, the designer, rearranged the layout of the keyboard so that the letters in subsequent versions of his machine no longer appear in alphabetical order. Okay. So here I'm finding some keywords. Typewriter, type bars. Okay, here type bars. Early typewriters, that's keyword 2. Move very sluggishly. Sluggishly means slowly. They move very slowly, and the keys often tended to be get stuck. To fix this problem, để giải quyết vấn đề này, Scholars rearranged, sắp xếp lại này, the layout, thứ tự of the keyboard. Có nghĩa là không phải là thay thế mà là gì? Không phải là thay thế mà người ta chỉ thay đổi, sắp xếp lại thứ tự thôi. Cái type bars này không phải là bị thay thế, không phải bị sửa chữa, mà là được sắp xếp lại. So I would regard this as false. They mention type bars, they mention early typewriters, but the information they say it has to be replaced is wrong. So I decided it's false. Let's go for question number 7. The redesign make locating letters more time consuming. Redesign, locating letters, time consuming. Okay, redesign, thiết kế lại. Locating letters, locate is the same as find. So we say we locate something, that means we want to find something. Okay, so locate, find, seek, look for. Alright, so those are synonyms. So we'll try to expect that they would be mentioning some of the other synonyms. They do not mention the word locate, but maybe they would say find, they would say seek, they would say look for. Time consuming. Time consuming, that means it takes more time. Maybe it takes more time. Or maybe they would use the word take longer. Synonyms. Let's try to see. All right. Instead, he placed the keys with the intention that the most commonly used letters combinations in the English language, like ST and TH, would be spread far apart from one another. This modification caused a dramatic decline in mechanical jams and typing errors because of the new arrangement. Increased the time to look it took for users to locate letters. Okay. I'm finding some keywords here. This modification, that means redesign. Dramatic decline in mechanical jams, typing errors because the new arrangement increase the time users locate letters. Alright, so redesign, modification. Locating letters, locate letters. More time consuming, it increased the time. So increase the time it took for users, that means more time consuming. So for this question, I see that the meaning of the question and what is said in a text are quite equivalent. So I come to decide that it is true. Alright. Now let's go over some of the new vocabulary and useful words that we find in this reading. Not many new words, but I think we should know. We should know in order to get more new words, and reading would be easier in the future. Okay, so I'm going to highlight them. The first is corporate, doanh nghiệp. Correspondence, thư từ. Monumentally, cấp số nhân, tăng rất mạnh, tăng nhiều. Okay, script, the first device thiết bị. Capable of là một cụm lúc nào cũng đi với nhau. Capable of, ví dụ như là he is capable of jumping 4 hours, hoặc là she is capable of typing very fast. My dad is capable of playing the guitar. Okay. Commercial, thương mại. Đây là sự thành công trong lĩnh vực thương mại đây. Remedy, danh từ của nó là từ remedy. Phương thuốc, danh từ là phương thuốc, động từ là chữa, sửa chữa. Sluggishly, slowly. Components, bằng với từ parts. Phần, bộ phận, linh kiện. Jam, tắc, bằng với từ stuck. To fix this problem, the designer rearranged the layout. Layout, cái này trả nhà nha. Subsequent, bằng với từ after, sau đó. Intention that the most commonly used letter combination, blah blah blah, spread from this modification, đây là danh từ của từ modify, bằng với từ change, bằng với từ alter, A-L-T-E-R. This change, this alteration, this modification cause in mechanical jams and typing errors because the nearly increased the time to locate letters, thereby ensure mama synonym, make sure, guarantee, assure, A-S-S-U-R-E. Ensure that each key had enough time to fall back into its position before the next one was struck. This seemingly small change were key to making typewriters a useful transcription and correspondence device. All right, no more new words there. So let's move on. Exercise 4. 2 questions. Question number 8 and question number 9. Read the question first. Underline the keywords. Try to predict the synonyms. Go to the reading and start reading. And try to compare the meanings expressed in the text and the meaning in the question. And then we can decide whether it's true, false, not given. Okay. Writing with graphite stick. More pressure. Other writing tools. Okay. So graphite stick, that's keyword. More pressure. Okay, so the most important word here is more pressure. So we are going to see whether in the text they say more pressure, the same pressure, or less pressure. Okay, let's start reading. While writing utensils have been around since antiquity, the pencil as we know it today only came into existence after the discovery of a large graphite deposit in the 1560s. According to the story, some English shepherds came across an unknown black substance stuck to the roots of a fallen tree, and handling it, found that it left behind a dark mark. Initially, they used it to draw brands on the livestock so that they could more easily differentiate whose sheep was whose. But they soon realized that the graphite, which they call black lead, could very easily be formed into sticks and used to write and draw. Okay, no information here. With string or twigs wrapped around it to reduce its brittleness, a stick of graphite not only required the user to apply less pressure than the metal alloy styluses then in use, but it also produced far darker lines. Oh, okay, so I'm finding some information here. A stick of graphite, so that's graphite stick, requires apply less pressure. So here it says more pressure. I'm seeing an opposite here, an opposition here. Less pressure than the metal alloy styluses. Okay, so graphite stick of graphite, require less pressure, more pressure. Other writing tool, metal alloy styluses. So I'm saying opposite meanings in the question and the text. So I come to decide that this question is false. Number 9. Users could not see graphite marks after they have been inked over. Users could not see graphite mark after ink over. Okay, maybe they do not use the word user. Maybe they use the word farmers, shepherds. Could not. Maybe they use the word unable to. Graphite marks. Maybe they see they would use another word. For example, dot or sign, S-I ký hiệu. After they have been inked over bằng với từ written over. Hoặc là gì đó. Okay, let's go into the reading and see. In addition, it was possible to erase graphite marks using a bit of soft bread and to draw it on top of them with ink, neither of which could be done with lead or charcoal. Nice. So here I'm finding some synonyms. Erase graphite, that means erase. Okay. Marks, same as here. Using a bit of soft bread and to draw on top of them with ink. Draw on top of them with ink, that means ink over. The same as ink over. But let me see. In addition, it was possible to erase, có thể xóa cái dấu này đi, sử dụng bánh mì mềm và viết lên trên nó bằng mực. Nhưng mà cái điều này nó không thể hiện rằng là có nhìn thấy hay nữa không. Bởi vì trong câu hỏi nó nói rằng là người sử dụng không thể nhìn thấy cái dấu của nó nữa sau khi mà nó được viết lên. Trong này nó chỉ nói rằng là có thể xóa cái này và dùng cái mực này viết đè lên. Thế nhưng mà sau khi đè lên rồi còn nhìn thấy nữa hay không thì không nhắc tới. Nhỡ đâu đè lên rồi nhưng mà nhìn thấy vết thì sao? Vẫn nhìn thấy vết đen đen thì sao? Câu này có thể đúng có thể sai. Nó là cái in the middle, not given. Okay. Some new words for us to learn. We are going to learn some new words. Just wait for a second. Alright, so first new word, utensils, công cụ, bằng với từ tools, dụng cụ. Have been around since antiquity. Antiquity là thời cổ đại. The pencil as we know it today came into existence. Đây là cả một cụm này. Come into existence. Đấy là tồn tại được bao lâu đó. Ví dụ như mình có thể nói rằng là chùa Một Cột came into existence about 100 years ago. Deposit có hai nghĩa, có ba nghĩa. Một nghĩa là trong kinh tế có nghĩa là đặt cọc. Một nghĩa trong tự nhiên thiên nhiên có nghĩa là phù sa. Một nghĩa nữa có nghĩa là mỏ, trầm tích gì đó, một cái mỏ. According to the story, some shepherd, người chăn cừu, unknown thì có thể bằng với từ unidentified, hoặc hôm trước có một cái từ là từ anonymous. Unidentified. Okay. Left behind dark mark. Initially bằng với từ at first, ban đầu, thoạt đầu, lúc đầu, đoạn đầu. They use it to refer to livestock. Livestock thì phải biết đấy nha. Đây là gia súc gia cầm, vật nuôi, thú nuôi. Không phải là thú cưng mà là thú nuôi để ăn, để bán lấy tiền, hoặc là để thịt ấy, hoặc để khai thác sữa hay là gì đó, hoặc là nuôi cừu để lấy lông chẳng hạn. Tất cả những con đấy đều gọi là livestock. Easily differentiate. Differentiate bằng với từ phân biệt. Distinguish bằng với từ tell apart. Ví dụ, I could not tell you and your brother apart. You look alike. I could not distinguish you from your brother because you look alike. I could not differentiate between you and your brother because you look alike. Lead, chì. Okay. String, dây. Wrap, đây là quấn hoặc là bọc, gói. Metal, kim loại. Các loại kim loại thì hình như thầy nhắc rồi đấy, bao gồm có iron, sắt, bronze, đồng, silver, bạc, steel, thép. Hai chữ E, một chữ L. Rồi thầy viết lại. Ok. Rồi là gold. Okay, let's continue. Stylus. Stylus là cái từ pen, nhưng mà bút này không phải bút dùng mực để viết, mà bút để viết lên màn hình cảm ứng ấy. Stylus. Lead thì giải thích rồi. Chì này. Charcoal là than. Than sau khi mình đốt một cái cây nào đó nó cháy hết rồi, cái phần còn lại mà đen đen ấy gọi là cái than. Than củi. Strip of wood, những cái mảnh gỗ. Study, đây là so sánh của nó, từ gốc của nó là S-T-U-R-D-Y, vững chắc, hoặc là không dễ bị hỏng hóc, thường nó đến gỗ, hoặc là một cái công trình gì đó. Ví dụ như là this building looks very sturdy, this table looks very sturdy, this chair is sturdy. Okay. Now let's go for extra practice. I made this smaller so that we could see easier. Michael Faraday was the first person to recognize Perkins' ability as a student of chemistry. The first person, Perkins' ability, student of chemistry. Okay. As a boy, Perkins' curiosity prompted early interest in the arts, science, photography, and engineering, but it was a chance stumbling upon a rundown yet functional laboratory in his late grandfather's home that solidified the young man's enthusiasm for chemistry. As a student at the City of London School, Perkins became immersed in a study of chemistry. Alright, keyword here. His talent and devotion to the subject were perceived by his teacher, Thomas Hall. Okay, so Michael Faraday was not the first person. The first person to recognize was Thomas Hall. So I would come to decide that this is false. They mention the question, they mention the information, but it's not correct. Michael Faraday suggested Perkins should enroll in the Royal College of Chemistry. Michael Faraday suggested Perkins enroll in this school. Thomas Hall, who encouraged him to attend a series of lectures given by the eminent Michael Faraday at the Royal Institution. Those speeches fired the young chemist's enthusiasm further, and later went on to attend the Royal College of Chemistry, which he succeeded in entering in 1853 at the age of 15. Okay, so they say here that Thomas Hall encouraged him to attend lectures, tức là chỉ tham gia những cái bài giảng thôi. Bài giảng của cái ông Michael Faraday này, và cái bài giảng của ông này thì đã truyền cảm hứng cho cái người tên là Perkins, và sau đó anh ấy đi học trường Royal College of Chemistry. Nhưng mà cái ông Michael Faraday này không suggest, không hề nói việc suggest. Có thể là ông ấy suggest trên lớp, cũng có thể là ông ấy không suggest, nhưng mà cái điều đó là điều mà chưa được chứng minh, not given. Trong bài nó không thể hiện như vậy. Perkins employed August blah 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 as his assistant. So Perkins employed this man assistant. Okay. Employ chắc là mình sẽ dùng với nghĩa là tuyển dụng. Thì chứ không phải là ông này tuyển dụng ông này không, hay là ông kia tuyển dụng ông này, hay là ông này sa thải ông kia. Sa thải trong tiếng Anh là fire. Sack. S-A-C-K. Alright. At the time of Perkins' enrollment, the Royal College of Chemistry was headed by the noted August blah 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 blah. Perkins' scientific gifts soon caught attention, and within 2 years, he became Hoffman's youngest assistant. Okay, nghĩa là ông Perkins này làm assistant của ông Hoffman, chứ không phải là ông Perkins này ông ấy tuyển dụng ông Hoffman. Ông Hoffman này là một cái người làm trong trường, chứ không phải là người mà được ông Perkins tuyển dụng, mà ngược lại đó là ông Hoffman này tuyển dụng ông Perkins. Nhắc đến thông tin nhưng mà sai. I come to decide that it is false. Perkins was still young, so Perkins young when he made the discovery that made him rich and famous. Từ young có thể người ta sẽ dùng từ teenager hay gì đó. Rich thì có thể người ta dùng từ khác, không dùng từ rich trong bài. Đoán là như vậy, cũng không biết được. Rich is the same as well off, wealthy. Còn famous, well known, renowned, popular. Okay, let's read. Not long after that, Perkins made the scientific breakthrough that would bring him both fame and fortune. Okay. Ở đây nó nói là at the age of 15, thì chắc là at the age of 15, ở đây nó có nói là not long after that, thì tầm 15 tuổi, và không lâu sau đó, thì chắc là từ young bằng cái từ đó rồi. He made the discovery. He made a discovery là made a scientific breakthrough, một cái đột phá về khoa học. Đột phá về khoa học tức là một cái discovery, bởi vì là những cái mà người ta chưa làm ra trước, người ta chưa tìm ra mà mình tìm ra lần đầu tiên thì là một cái đột phá. Fame là danh từ của từ famous, fortune tài sản bằng với từ rich. Vậy thì hai câu đấy đồng nghĩa với nhau. True. The trees from which quinine is derived grow only. Trees, quinine, only South America. Bắt đầu để ý cực kỳ ấn tượng only chứ nào. At the time, quinine was the only viable medical treatment for malaria. The drug is derived from the bark of the Sinora tree native to South America. Ok. Thông tin ở đây. Trong câu hỏi nó nói là cái cây này chỉ được trồng ở Nam Mỹ thôi. Trong bài nó nói là cái cây này đến từ cái vỏ của cây gì đó, cây cinchona. Cái cây này thì là cây bản địa của South America, cây bản địa. Nhưng mà nhỡ đâu ví dụ như là cây ớt là cây bản địa của Việt Nam, nhưng mà Trung Quốc người ta cũng trồng được thì sao? Châu Âu người ta cũng có cây ớt thì sao? Nếu như trong bài người ta nói là native only to South America thì câu này là true. Nhưng nếu mà trong bài nó nói là native to South America, tức là cây này được trồng ở đây, nhưng mà nơi khác người ta có được trồng hay không thì đấy là điều mà mình chưa được chứng minh. Có thể có thể không. Nên là nói là nếu nó chỉ được trồng ở đây thôi thì là not given. False, not given. Perkin hoped to manufacture a drug from coal tar waste product. Perkin hope drug coal tar waste product. Okay. And by 1856, demand for the drug was surpassing the available supply. Thus, when Hoffman made some passing comments about the desirability of a synthetic substitute for quinine, it was unsurprising that his star pupil was moved to take up the challenge. During his vacation in 1856, Perkin spent his time in the laboratory on the top floor of his family's house. He was attempting to manufacture quinine from alanine, an inexpensive and readily available coal tar waste product. Trong câu hỏi nó là ông này ông hy vọng là sẽ sản xuất được một cái loại thuốc gì đó từ coal tar, từ cái phế phẩm của coal tar. Trong bài nói là he was attempting là cố gắng thì là hy vọng bằng với từ hope. Manufacture quinine blah blah and then coal tar waste product. Ok. Vậy thì là câu đây ý nghĩa của nó giống nhau 90%. I came to decide that it is true. Perkin was inspired by the discoveries of the famous scientist Louis Pasteur. Despite his best efforts, however, he did not end up with quinine. Instead, he produced a mysterious dark sludge. Luckily, Perkin's scientific training and nature prompted him to investigate the substance further, incorporating potassium dichtomate and alcohol into the aniline at various stages of the experimental process. He finally produced a deep purple solution, and proving the truth of the famous scientist's words, chance favors only the prepared mind. Trong câu hỏi nó bảo là cái ông này, ông ấy được truyền cảm hứng bởi cái discovery của cái ông Louis Pasteur này. Trong bài thì nói là proving the truth, tức là ông ấy chứng minh cái câu này của ông Louis Pasteur là đúng. Ông ấy chứng minh cái câu này là đúng. Thế còn có cảm thấy inspired hay không, inspired bởi cái discoveries này hay không thì không nhắc tới. Chỉ nói rằng là ông ấy thực hiện cái thí nghiệm đó để chứng minh cái câu của cái ông Louis Pasteur này là đúng. Thế còn inspire hay không thì không nói tới, not given. Alright, I think that we need to look at some words. Going to A lot of new vocabulary. A lot of new vocabulary for us to learn. Okay. First word. Interest, mối quan tâm, bằng với từ hobby. Stumble upon, đây là giáng xuống đầu. Giáng xuống vừa với nghĩa là tích cực, vừa với nghĩa là tiêu cực. Ví dụ như là một cái vận may giáng xuống đầu nó chẳng hạn. Okay. Enthusiasm, nhiệt thành, sự nhiệt huyết. Tính từ của nó là enthusiastic. Hơi dài một chút. Enthusiastic. Ví dụ như là he is an enthusiastic person. Immerse, đắm chìm, ngập chìm. Devotion, sự cống hiến. Perceived, được nhìn thấy, được công nhận bởi ai đó. Encourage, khuyến khích. Lectures, bài giảng. Eminent, nổi trội. Speech, bài phát biểu. Enrollment là danh từ, động từ là enroll. Nhập học, đi học ở đâu đó. Gift có hai nghĩa, một nghĩa là món quà, một nghĩa là tài năng. Trong trường hợp này thì cái nghĩa là tài năng. Assistant, người trợ lý. Breakthrough, đột phá. Fame, danh tiếng. Fortune, tài sản. Malaria, sốt rét. Derived from, đến từ đâu đó, bằng với từ come from. Bark, vỏ. Cái này có hai nghĩa, động từ là sủa, chó sủa chẳng hạn. Thế còn danh từ là vỏ của cây ấy. Surpass, vượt quá. Ví dụ như là nhu cầu vượt quá nguồn cung. Synthetic, tổng hợp. Ví dụ như là nhựa tổng hợp, bông tổng hợp. Okay. Laboratory, phòng thí nghiệm. Attempt, try, bằng với từ try. Từ cao cấp nữa là từ strive, nỗ lực hết mình. Một cụm từ là make an effort. Tiếp, waste product, phế phẩm. Mysterious, bí ẩn. Kỳ bí, kỳ lạ. Investigate, điều tra. Incorporate, tích hợp. Various, đa dạng, nhiều. Stage, giai đoạn. Experimental process, quá trình thí nghiệm. Solution, chất hoặc là một cái dung dịch nước gì đó. Nó có hai nghĩa, một nghĩa là giải pháp, nghĩa thứ hai là cái dung dịch. Unexpected, không ngờ tới, bất ngờ, bằng với từ surprise. Okay, so we finished explaining the answers to all the questions in reading lesson 3. Your job is to go home, use Quizlet, write all the words on there, and then review the words in the morning, review the words before you go to sleep. That's the only way for you to remember the words. And once you have a lot of new vocabulary and synonyms, reading and listening becomes so much easier. Okay? So thank you very much for your attention. I will be keeping making videos like this so that you will get more out of the lesson. Okay, bye bye.